Nick Erkeline, a carpenter by trade, remembers the grim 70s all too well.
Economically, it sucked. It was pathetic. There was a period of time that I was out of work for 65 straight weeks, could not find a job.
Nick finally found work, eventually becoming a union official.
Okay, sweetie, open up big wide.
Bobby, a school nurse. The financial struggles shared by their generation changed many boomers, propelling them away from their idealism of the 60s, according to Smith.
What we saw in our data was that a new realism set in. Baby boomers became much more focused on self in a way that eventually was, talked about as selfishness, greed, this whole phenomenon that baby boomers have been criticized for.
Well, they went from wanting to live in communes to wanting to live in Greenwich.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it was communes to co-ops, essentially.
And that's not the only thing that makes the Erkelines uncomfortable about the baby boomers of today. Studies have shown dramatic gains by the wealthiest Americans, while the middle class has been left behind.
A lot of people identify themselves with how much stuff they have. How much is enough?
For the rest of us to have the scraps is kind of crazy.
Something else. The Erkelines have lived less than an hour's drive from Woodstock their entire married lives. And they say that in the past 10 years, everything has changed.
We don't know our neighbors. And this is a small 3,500 population town. We've become a bedroom community. We don't have the communal...
The sense of community.
The sense of community.
Yeah. I'll do a few songs we did back in the day.
It's not the same as it was. And that's sad, because growing up in the 60s, I'd do it again. It was a great time.
What's the best description of the boomers today? Walker Smith calls them Generation Ageless. If you watch television commercials, you know that baby boomers think they're going to live forever and have all their powers forever.
Right.
Everything from Viagra to any kind of vitamin that you can possibly imagine.
This whole notion of not getting older is how baby boomers are approaching old age.